I'm here with Kemp Brent, author of Fill in the Blanks with Machine Embroidery. This is a book about embroidering on blank apparel and other pre-made items, which is something the beginning embroiderer really wants to do.
Right, and actually I'm hoping that this will appeal to even the beyond beginners, the ones who've embroidered on a few dozen t-shirts already and given a set of towels to every aunt, uncle, and cousin. So they're looking for something a little different that they can do. There's so many blanks available, all kinds of things. I talk about clocks, stationery, as well as totes, afghans. We have projects in the book that will give you some experience in trying out some blanks that are a little bit less obvious than the first t-shirt and towel that you tried. And there's a CD that includes instructions and a bunch of designs so that you can try some of the projects that you see in the pages of the book.
What are some things that looked easy to embroider on at first, but present a real challenge when you actually get to the embroidery?
I think the biggest challenges come in things like two-layer blanks. For example, if you have a nylon windbreaker with a knit lining to it, I talk about in the book the difference in doing that for yourself. If you're working on something that's an heirloom garment with a lining and it's worth taking the time to take out the lining, as opposed to if you're making a couple of dozen jackets for a team and you need to do it fast and loose, and so you just go ahead and embroider right through the lining as well as the outside.
You've used some surprising techniques for embroidering interesting blanks.
That's what I talk about in a chapter about strategies for embroidering on blanks, because it's not too hard to figure out how to embroider on something like a linen towel. It's a simple one-layer project. But I talk about embroidering on jeans by opening one seam, leaving the hem intact, embroidering on a tote bag by taking out the side or bottom seams instead of dealing with the upper part of the tote bag where you have a hem and handles that are just a lot more difficult to redo if you've had to take them out for embroidery.
This book will open the horizons for folks who've embroidered on everything they can think of. You're going to expand what we think of as an embroiderable blank.
Exactly, and there's a lot of information in it, I think, from the basics of where do I put a design if I'm embroidering a towel, through things like how to embroider on different kinds of fabrics, multi-layers, thick fabrics, thin fabrics. So there are a few hints and tips at the beginning and some recommendations for other reading if they need that. But primarily this is focused on blanks. My children had a habit of coming to me the night before and reminding me or telling me for the first time that they needed a present for school the next morning. So you keep a cache of blanks in the closet in your sewing room, and this is how you can pull things out and pull off a good present, a good gift in just a few minutes. Do something quick and have a nice finished result.
When you talk about speed, it occurs to me that a lot of us might create our own apparel for embroidery, but that isn't necessary with all the quality blanks available now.
That's right. In fact, I even found pre-smocked clothing for babies and children. There's a picture on the cover of a smock dress that's one of the book projects. Because if you enjoy that kind of handwork, maybe the second or third child in your household, you don't really have as much time to make the dress, but this would be a way to have a beautiful smock dress for a child without going to the time of the part that's maybe not quite as much fun as the embroidery.
Rebecca, thank you for sharing with us Fill in the Blanks with Machine Embroidery.
Thank you. Thanks very much.